Hello, here we are another week. Special guest appearance today by Tom Stroud from Altadis Cigars. I believe you joined us a few
I
other
did
times.
a few ashes ago, but
great.
always great to be back.
Yeah.
Much appreciated. Always
Although-
nice to join you guys.
He did increase his fee for joining us.
That's all right, though.
Like, we should be charging him, he charging us.
We don't pay him anyway.
No.
so we
That's right.
charge
I get
whatever he
twice
wants.
what I got the last
Yeah,
time.
take all the time off you need.
But we love, sitting talking cigars because Tom knows a lot about a lot of cigars on, what's coming out the pipeline, what was around, wrappers, binders. He's just his expertise on all of that. So we always enjoy just sitting around
it's
talking shit. And
always fun to
smoking
be here.
cigars and. But tonight, I'm going with, and I smoke these a lot, and I didn't do this in a while, so this is probably my favorite cigar, the Butera.
Oh,
6x52, and there's only one way to describe it. It's like butter.
Like butter, nice, creamy, mild, but
Really
yet
mild.
flavorful. And
Really
that-
mild, but a lot of flavor. But it's like
Yep.
creamy butter, but I really enjoy to smoke, especially in the morning.
Oh, it's-
But I'll smoke it anytime, but I really enjoy it in the morning. Wow, with the coffee or something like that.
there's two schools of thought on that. Some people will start their day with a morning cigar going mild and just working right of the way up. More and more people I talk to, including our national education manager, Travis, who's doing our little event tonight here in
Right.
the store, he goes up and then comes back down. So by the end of the night, he says he finds he sleeps better if he does something a little milder. So he kind of takes it to a peak, like about maybe mid-afternoon with the fullest that he's going to smoke, and then starts working his way down backwards. But as long as you're enjoying it, no matter what time of day,
I say that all the time. I
that's
don't
all
care
that
what you're
counts.
smoking, as long as you
As
like
long
it.
as you're
It don't matter
enjoying
what
it, there's no time of day to it.
I don't think I ever thought that much, mild, strong, or it's more like when I look in the humidor or something. Oh, I like the flavor of that when I'm in the mood for
What you're in the
that
mood
one
for.
or this one or
This
whatever.
the same thing as if you're picking out what you want to have for dinner if you're
Yeah.
out. Like what am I in the mood for tonight? Sometimes you want something a little milder, creamier. Sometimes you want something a little bolder and stronger.
Yeah.
Myself tonight, smoking the Series 1 of the Trinidad Espiritu. This is the all Nicaraguan by AJ that we first introduced in 2019. And then earlier this year, the Series 2 Brazilian by AJ came out. And that has really been doing phenomenal, much more on the bolder side for the guys that do like that bolder smoke that we talked about.
Yeah, I did smoke that one and I enjoyed it.
Definitely a little bolder than the Butera.
Oh, yeah, you could say that.
Yeah.
So do me a favor, cover your ears a second.
Oh boy, here we go. Go ahead.
So I'm smoking a La Roma de Cuba Mi Amor, which is, right in my flavor profile, which I like. Very, very, nice full body with that spice, similar to Aging Room Nicaragua.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so anybody sitting at this table wants to donate one to me tonight, I'd be happy to smoke it. But I'm enjoying it nonetheless. And so as you guys were talking earlier, you were saying how Travis goes up, with what he's smoking and drinking, and it comes back down, which brings up a nice point of we have many people that come in here and say, if I smoke a cigar later in the evening, I can't sleep. How does nicotine or caffeine or any of that stuff affect you guys? For me, I could drink a pot of coffee and go right to sleep like a baby. I could smoke a cigar, it has no effect. So for me, it's like it seems odd that somebody could smoke a cigar and they'd have trouble sleeping because of that.
Yeah, it doesn't affect me at all
With me, it's
Don't
the
matter.
caffeine, not the nicotine. I can smoke a full-bodied cigar, go to bed, and sleep like a baby. But if I have a glass or two of even like iced tea right before bed, I'm wired and up for hours. The
don't
caffeine.
Doesn't have any effect
Yeah,
on me
me neither.
whatsoever.
It
Thankfully.
doesn't matter.
I'm the weak link in the group then because
Yeah.
it's the caffeine though. But a full-bodied cigar like right before bed, out on the porch at night or something, no problem. But
Yeah.
iced tea like after 2 p.m., we're done.
Really, after 2 o'clock?
Yeah, I got
Really?
it. The caffeine
Wow.
really just drives home with me.
Wow.
And that's probably because I don't drink a lot of caffeine.
Right.
I smoke, with work and everything pretty much all day. But caffeine, I don't drink coffee. So in the morning, a tea or an iced tea. And so I'm not building up that immunity or that tolerance to the caffeine like I would the nicotine.
Well, we have a couple guys that come here frequently that probably could lay off the caffeine as well.
Mm-hmm. But for other
They
reasons.
come in here, 3 pots of coffee before they got out of bed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, would you consider yourself, Tom, a fast smoker, a slow smoker?
I'm a fast smoker.
Yeah, me too.
I'm a fast smoker.
And the more and more I read is, we may not be getting the true flavor out of
We're
all
missing out
cigars.
on something. I know that,
gotta try and slow down.
but I try and slow down a little bit, but it's just that force of habit. Because I always tell, like, if I start a cigar up with somebody else at the exact same time, and it's the same cigar,
Yeah.
same size, I'm pretty much reaching for my second one, and they're still on their first one by like a
halfway.
good half.
Oh yeah, I'm the same.
And
way.
I'm like,
I remember that when we went on a trip to Connecticut. I think he had like four cigars down.
To one.
We were half an hour into the
yeah,
trip.
and it's okay with the Toro size, but when you get into some of the thinner ring gauges like the Lanceros or even the Corona that you want to smoke slower to get those
Yeah.
nuances,
yeah.
But again, what did we say? As long as we're enjoying the experience,
Yeah,
it's all good. If I have 2 to year 1 and everybody else is happy,
The other reason I brought it, because I figured I was reading on Half Wheel or somewhere. I always try and read some article. Just, as you're smoking, just read something. And it says that, because it's a cooler smoke, let it cool. And then when you draw again, you're supposed to get more of these flavors.
Yeah.
So, I don't, I'm a fast smoker, but I'm just wondering if I'm not getting the true...
I might be missing out on a little
So,
bit.
being that you're a fast smoker, do you notice any type of a tar buildup in the end of your cigar? Because typically they say if you do smoke it fast like that,
No.
that's
I don't.
going to build up and kind of come to a head in the end.
I never had. Only if I smoke a full-bodied cigar.
I've not really
Never
noticed the
experienced any of that.
Not of the tar
I'd
buildup
say
or
I'm
anything
probably
like that.
I'd say average, maybe even a slow smoker. You know?
And then in the same article it had to try and this is the first time I ever heard this, or if I did hear it before I forgot about it, is leave your ash on as long for the same reason to keep it.
It'll cool the burn down.
It'll
Yeah.
cool the burn down.
That
it's
gets
just a
trickier
habit of
depending on
me.
the type of tobacco, though, because some tobacco is very good at holding. Other, it's more flaky. Like I find with some of the Nicaraguan pures, it doesn't hold its ash as well. Gravity takes over with you
Yeah.
just moving around, and I end up wearing the ash more than I get a
Well,
chance
that's why
to
I
actually.
keep it long in there. I just kind of want to throw it on my shirt, put a couple
Yeah,
holes in.
I just look at it as
Right.
occupational hazard,
Right? Yeah.
and we
no
move
doubt
on
about
with
it.
it.
But I never heard of them things.
I mean, I always think, I try to educate guys in the lounge, never to ash your cigar, let the ash fall off. Some of that has a lot to do with them taking their cigar and banging it into the ashtray and then saying there's something wrong with the construction on this cigar.
Yeah.
But I mean, it does serve a couple different purposes.
Right.
And, that being said, I ash my cigar frequently because it's going to end up on my shirt. You know what I
kind of
mean?
like that though. That's kind of like
Yeah, sometimes you like it, sometimes
Just
you
like
don't.
when you go out and cut grass and just rub it all over you, so your wife thinks you're working hard out in the yard. Same thing with a cigar.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
She
I-
might be
wear a
watching.
cigar.
When I'm driving and smoking, I'll tend to ash it more because I don't want to be wearing the ash while I'm also driving. But sometimes the ash will just catch me by surprise. Like I look, I think, oh, that's going to be good for a while. I can let it go. And the next thing I know, what happened? Oh, yeah, there it is.
You ever get the ash still driving and it's hot?
Yeah, oh, I've
You're
had that
driving
happen.
around, right?
Yeah,
You got a hot ash and a hot.
the neighboring motorist gets a show every now and then when you're down there like this trying to, protect the
A little
important parts.
zigzagging going on.
Honest officer, I wasn't drinking. I just had a hot ash issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but yet on the other hand, you get other types of tobacco when you see these long ash competitions where after a while guys are sitting there straight up like this,
They're laying on their back.
five and a half inches almost on a Toro. I mean, they're down to the nub and that ash hasn't budged. It's like,
Speaking of the contest, did you ever go in the slow smoke contest?
I know in advance I would probably get disqualified earlier on. The cigar club that I belong to used to host it before COVID.
Yeah.
And I mean, they were getting a Robusto size, and the winner was smoking a Robusto for over 3 hours.
Oh,
I'm lucky
like
if I get
15
an hour
minutes.
out of my Toro. I'm going to go in 3 hours, and the rules are once it's lit, there's no relighting. So you're
just
taking
gotta
these
keep it lit.
incredibly slow puffs to keep it going, with not lose the combustion, and not have it, because if it goes out, you're out.
You're out.
And 3 hours on a Robusto, and
but to me though, you're not enjoying it.
it's a competition
Yeah,
thing. I
that's
mean,
a contest right there.
the same thing with the long ash. Like how many people are really enjoying it when they're sitting there with their cigar straight up in the air and their head back, in the recliner.
Yeah.
A few years ago, we did a long ash contest, and the people that were getting so into it, again, like back in the chair in the lounge, head straight up, yelling at somebody if they walked by so they didn't create a breeze. Like, I mean, they were just, getting so into it.
Right.
And then when it finally falls, but the slow burn contest is just a different type
Yeah, I don't have
of,
patience for that.
a discipline. I mean, a Robusto for 3 hours. It'd be nice to win the watch and get over to Europe for the fine, but
Yeah, I don't have the patience
No.
for that.
So we're going to wrap this up.
Yep.
But last week we had one out of the two people, you know, in the podcast kind of catch a little fire with his "Don't be a dick" tip of the week.
Right.
So do you have a "Don't be a dick" tip of the week?
Yeah. So now,
Are we allowed to say it? Short answer is yes. Are we allowed to talk about it?
sure, we
All
can
right.
do it.
All
So
right.
now it's getting nice outside. Everybody cleaning up your yards.
Yeah.
Don't blow your leaves in my yard. Right? You know you're gonna get that neighbor like get him out of his yard.
You guys heard it here first.
Yeah.
Take care of your own leaves, keep them in your own yard, or you're going to have somebody really upset with you. You're going to have no idea why.
Right.
Again, thanks for joining us here,
Take care.
and we'll see you next week.